I feel like this is going to be one of the things that would just be a little bit more interesting to talk about on this pod. So all the info should be out by the time we recorded this. We only had like the pre-launch info, so I don't have all of the marketing info that Selkerk will have had on their website. But Selkerk is just dropping shoe after shoe. So they just recently released the Court Strike 2.0s, and now they're releasing another shoe that is very much a head scratcher. Like I feel like this one's going to be fun to go back and forth on.
I feel like the Court Strike 2.0 is less of like a launch of a shoe and more of like an iteration and just like
it's just the fact that they did, two back to back. I feel like it'd be like Apple being like, we released a MacBook Pro last week. Now 2 weeks later, we're releasing another MacBook Pro. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I know
but like, I don't know, comparing shoes to like a MacBook.
Well, I'm just saying like similar product launches, I
know.
So anyways, okay, let's talk about this. So this is, let me pick it up. Selkerk is launching 2 shoes called the Selkerk Legacy shoe and the Legacy Pro.
Legacy Classic.
Legacy Classic, my bad. They did send us these for free, as how most things on this podcast go. Let's just talk about these. So
you're kind of a hater.
No, I think there are things that are interesting about this, but then there are other things about it that make me scratch my head because I don't dislike this shoe. I just think there are things about it that are really confusing to me.
Okay, but the things you're arguing against of why they don't make sense are literally the things you do. So
okay, but we'll talk about it.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it. Let me get there. Okay. First of all, the Legacy Classic, this one that I am holding, will be $138. The Legacy Pro will be $158. And then just keep in mind that the Court Strike was $108 and the Court Strike Pro was $128. What these shoes are essentially built for is for you to be able to wear them on and off the court. You use these as a normal day-to-day shoe. You go to work in them, and then you can go play pickleball in them. So it's meant to be dual purpose. That's why if you're watching the pod, the shoe is pretty clean. There's not a lot of branding on it. It just looks like you could wear this.
Really minimal shoe.
Yeah, it's a very minimal shoe. You would have no idea it's a court shoe.
Yeah. The subtle logo designs is very nice.
And then let me really quick just hold up the Court Strike Pro. Whee, bonked my head on the mic. The Legacy Pro, my bad. So this one, I think, looks a little bit more like a court shoe. I still think you could easily wear this out. It looks like a lot of sneakers.
Yeah.
The Selkerk branding is a little bit more visible on these.
I think the big thing of like why, like the upper definitely has that court shoe-esque like design, a little bit less than normal.
Yeah.
But I think the big thing is the midsole and outsole like don't have as big of like flares out on the side of the foot.
Yeah.
Or like as aggressive designing as like most court shoes. So that's what keeps it more like a sneaker or a street shoe.
Totally. And I totally just had a thought and it just completely slipped. But yeah, basically it's just meant to be a shoe that you can wear out and about and do both. And that's where I guess I'm just a little bit confused. And we're mostly going to talk about the Legacy Classic because that's what I've worn. You actually accidentally only got 2 Legacy Classics instead of a Classic and a Pro.
Yeah.
And so I just decided to only wear the Classic as well, just so we could both talk about these. I had to grab the regular shoe that we're actually going to talk about. So that is what these are built for. And I just think, okay, first of all, let me get this out of the way. Because a pod, long time ago, I don't even remember if it was with you. I don't remember if it was with Will. I can't remember. All I know is that it was you. Yeah, it was you. All I said was, I like to put my court shoe on when I leave my house and wear it to the court. And everyone's giving me crap. Everyone's like, oh my gosh, you're going to destroy the courts. I can't believe you're going to do that to the courts. And now we got a shoe that you're telling me I should wear this in all types of weather and terrain and go put this on the court.
See, I disagree with that.
Okay, we'll get to there. First thing we should go over is these, at least ours, were quite slippery when they were new. And they did warn us. They said, hey, you should like wear these on concrete, walk around in them, do some like lateral shuffles to like break this rubber in because it is slick.
I think what it is the mold that this rubber is coming out of, it's like a release agent to get it out of the mold, like stays on the shoe and you just have to like essentially scratch that off. It's like an oil.
Yeah, because once that's scratched off or whatever,
super grippy.
Yeah, it wasn't.
And I think they said they are working on fixing that.
Yes.
So it's not something that should be on most shoes, like the main batch of shoes.
Yeah, but just keep it in mind because we both got on the court and we're like, whoo,
slick. I just started scratching my feet all over the ground.
Yeah, exactly, to rough them up. So, okay. Let's just talk. Let's go your opinion first, and then we'll dig into mine.
So what I'm going to, my rebuttal to your statement is, yes, I think it's crazy to wear court shoes everywhere and then go play. But it's less about like a day like yesterday. Super nice out, sunny, no issues. Why like that I think is fine.
Okay.
But if it's raining out and nasty, then yeah, don't wear your court shoes. Or if it's snowing in Minnesota, don't wear your court shoes and then go walk inside a facility with wet shoes and go jump on the court.
Well, you dry them off before you get on the court.
Crazy.
Dry them off.
Chaos.
They got mats. I think that's what they're for.
It's less about like destroying. For me, it's less about destroying the court, especially if it's like outdoor public courts.
Mm-hmm.
It's less about destroying the court and more about preserving the shoe. Because with typical court shoes, like let's say the Jet Mocs, it's a really soft rubber compound. So like, and it wears out super fast. Not that I think normal day-to-day walking is going to do a whole lot to it, but it's like, I'm not going to wear, I used to bowl competitively. That was my entire life. You don't wear your bowling shoes outside walking around like those. They have a dedicated purpose. Also, they get completely destroyed, but that's a whole nother point. There's just no point with these. The rubber compound is more designed like streetwear that is also grippy on a court. I think this makes more sense, but with typical court shoes, I would not.
Okay, so then like my main thought, I think when I think about these shoes is I'm like, okay, maybe we'll ask you first and then we'll go into my thoughts. Who do you think this is actually for, or who do you think should actually buy this? Because that I think, particularly with it being more expensive than what is supposed to be the like pro court shoe. That's like a little bit of my holdup.
Minimalist people who like to go play pickleball after work or events, who don't want to carry a lot of stuff with them. Let's just say you live in New York. You take the subway to the office every day. You don't want to carry your laptop, work stuff, notepads, pickleball paddles, and shoes in a whole other bag. I mean, you'd have a massive duffel bag you'd be bringing with you every day. You just wear these. Great.
Okay, I could see somewhere like New York, but New York is also like very niche.
It is on the niche side, but I think, again, it's like there's a lot of people who still live that more minimalist, like I don't want to have to carry a ton of stuff with me all the time. Like obviously, like I just kind of keep my stuff in my car, but there are definitely times where I'm like, dang, I only have my court shoes and I'm about to go to a nice restaurant and I'm wearing bright neon green court shoes. Like this is silly. Like when I have court shoes that are a little bit more worn out, it doesn't matter to me. I'll just wear them as long as the weather's nice. Again, if it's raining and nasty and wet outside, I'm not wearing my court shoes and then going indoors,
Okay, well, I think like part of my maybe holdup is that feeling these, and I think it was fine, right? I have really only drilled in these so far, and I didn't really notice any huge complaints. The biggest thing that I noticed just holding the shoe, and even when I'm wearing it, is the ankle area and heel is far less padded than most court shoes. Like it's just much like a thinner wall here, maybe feels a little bit more flexible than most court shoes that I've used. So to me, it feels like there's a little bit less lateral stability. So I'm like, okay, I think that if I am going to play pickleball in most scenarios, I would rather have, a Jet Moc, a Head Revolt 5.0, name whatever court shoe fits you. And then if I'm thinking about someone who's just getting into pickleball, they probably just don't even really care about owning a court shoe. Like they're new, right? Mm-hmm. 3-0, they're just getting into the sport. They're probably using whatever sneaker. They might not even know that court shoes are a thing. So I don't know that they know this exists. And then if you do know this exists, are you going to pay more money for this to have most likely an inferior court shoe to the court shoes that are literally built to be like a high-end performance court shoe? Like, I don't like, okay, let's go this way. If you and you're going to play a qualifier, I'm going to play a 5-0 event, this is probably not the shoe I'm ever going to wear there.
Yeah, valid.
Now, the one scenario where I think it would be interesting for me or you, because we do run into this a decent amount, let's say it's not a tournament, because again, if it's a tournament, I'll probably bring a different court shoe. But let's say we're just traveling for an event. That's a YOLO event, a Selkirk event, a whoever event. I don't really love having to bring 2 pairs of shoes for a quick trip. So I'm like, okay, well, this would fit everything. I could wear these the entire time and have...
This is perfect for me when we do the Chasing 5-0 events, because the same thing. It's like, I'm not going there to play.
Yeah.
But, I might jump on court and hit for a little bit or a game here and there.
Yep.
I don't really want to be wearing pickleball shoes out to dinners and lunches and just out and about. Like, sometimes they're also not super comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, when we travel, like, these are great.
I just think that what we just described is such a niche scenario.
Yes, that is extremely niche because that is our case. But there's a lot of people, I think, like, okay, so I've worn these for the past like 4 days on and off the court. I've had a handful of play sessions, drill sessions, singles, and a more competitive doubles session. And then I've put 20,000+ steps on them. I think Sunday, I walked around the entire day in them. And I will say, they're extremely comfortable. I actually really like wearing these just as day-to-day shoes. And my non-pickleball friends and pickleball friends, none of them knew that they were pickleball shoes.
Yeah.
I actually had a friend who doesn't play pickleball who's like, I kind of want to get a pair of those just because I think they look nice as regular shoes.
Sure, yeah. They do look very nice as regular shoes.
What I will say about the padding on the side and the shoe, so first thing I'll say that I really like about it is the toe box is very wide. I have a lot of room for my toes. Very, very comfortable shoe. So I very much appreciate that. I do agree that I think they have a little bit less lateral support, but at the same time, playing singles and doubles, I never felt like I was thinking about it very much. As long as my shoe was tied like tight or snug to my foot, I wasn't worried about rolling my ankle. The only time I thought about it was like, these aren't shoes that I probably want to try and slide in, but just regular hard play, run into drops, chasing down lobs, never even had a second thought. So I could play totally fine in them, but yeah, I wouldn't bring them to a qualifier. Wouldn't be my first shoe I'd wear there.
Yeah.
But I will say I'll wear them day to day. And if somebody last second, hey, want to go play pickleball? I'll just go out to dinner. All right. Go right out to dinner and wear the same shoes.
Maybe there are more people who don't know they're going to play like spontaneously, but I feel like I know all of my play well in advance where I'm never just out and about and someone's like, hey, you want to go play pickleball? I know I'm just playing pickleball.
Happens to me all the time.
Very interesting. We have 2 very different calendar schedules, I guess.
Oh yeah, I don't really keep a schedule. Like if someone says, hey, you trying to play pickleball next week on a Thursday, I'd be like, that's so far away. Why would I schedule that out so far in advance? I'm very like, oh, I guess we're doing something today, huh?
Interesting. Well, okay, the next thing, so durability is one of the things that I'm kind of interested in because, you're going to wear them on court, you're going to wear them off court, so they're just exposed to way more than your normal court shoe is. These do have a 6-month warranty, so I think that's great. So if you do wear them down quick, I just feel like all court shoes should probably have a 6-month warranty, so I love that they have that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay, you're just going to wear it out twice as fast instead of having 2 shoes.
I'm really less worried about the outsole of the shoe durability because this feels like a very dense, firm rubber compound.
It does.
That will probably hold up better than most court shoes. But someone specifically like you who has Jello for ankles will probably shred through the upper because it's pretty soft. Like this feels like a faux leather kind of material.
And I feel like the people would mostly be designed for, that'd be less of an issue, right? If you're thinking
real leather,
more casual players, like they probably aren't dragging their ankles like I do, or they're not sliding,
Yeah, specifically these white ones. I mean, I played them a few times, and they don't look bad, but I did start to notice some scratch marks on the top and some, wear marks. So the more you wear them on court, the less I'd feel like I'd want to wear them off court just because they probably start to look a little bit rough, like just white shoes.
Yeah.
Any white court shoe I've ever had just started to look
it just looks
raggedy and nasty after a while. But I mean, I'm in the camp of I really like these shoes. The only thing I dislike specifically on court with them, they don't breathe all that great. So I did start to notice my feet getting really, really hot.
Yeah, I hear people talk about that. I feel like I've never had a court shoe where my feet really felt, or maybe I'm just not that sensitive to heat.
Maybe you're just not
feet,
that sensitive because the Winner's Edge shoes, I mean, I might as well have stuck my foot in a 400-degree oven. When I played, I literally would have to take the only shoe I've ever had to take them off in between games
To let them breathe.
because I'm like, my feet are on fire.
That's interesting.
But
So-
yeah, I don't know. I think they're cool.
I agree with you in that I think the shoe is good, right? When I've been on court with it, I haven't really had a complaint. I do want to play some actual doubles with it and see how I feel. Like I'll probably wear them when I go and drill again today. But again, that's drilling, not games. So I don't know. That's why I'm like torn. Is I think the shoe is pretty solid. I just think if I'm trying to imagine, it doesn't really work this way. But like if you had a paddle that you're like, oh, I use this because it's like a little bit more casual and I can bring it more places. You're like, well, why not just have the performance paddle and a bad paddle for whatever the other thing is? To me, that's like, I guess what I keep getting hung up on because I like them.
Yeah, but you can store paddles in a backpack.
The paddles is a terrible example. It's like almost a more probably real world example is like in the tech world when people talk about, having a laptop, an iPad, and an iPhone. You're like, okay, the iPad fits this really weird in between where the laptop can do more, it's more powerful, but then the phone is basically just a smaller version of the iPad. Like that's kind of what this feels like to me, is this weird in between.
Sure.
Where I'm like, I almost feel like I'd rather have at the extremes, right?
Obviously, I haven't done any market research on this, but if there's anything we know about Selkirk is they do definitely a lot of market research. I'm sure they found an audience for this, and there's enough demand for them to spend the time, money, and effort into designing and making a shoe.
Totally.
So
that's why I'm like, there's clearly an audience for it. It's like confusing to me.
this is literally what I would imagine like you would use, because you are the guy who likes to wear your shoes out to the court and be like, see guys?
I know, but I like, and that's what I mean is like, that's why I keep saying I like it. I just feel like I'm like the 1%.
I don't know. Every person I've talked to so far that I've played with recently or seen them, like, that's a great idea. And,
Okay.
I don't know. I think it's cool. I like it.
I'll go over this real quick and then we'll wrap this segment up because I'm sure people are curious. In the pre-release stuff that we got for this, they advertised the Legacy Classic as for casual players who seek value, style, and off-court versatility, which, makes sense. These are a little bit more clean. You could wear these in more places. And then the Legacy Pro, they said high abrasion, breathable, and reinforced for precision. I mean, handful of little marketing jargon there, but I think maybe it's that the Legacy Classic makes a little bit more sense to me. And then the Pro, I'm like, okay, hang on. So you're just bringing it a little bit closer to like a real court shoe, but also to be worn. Like that's where I'm like, there's two versions of this. I feel like we just go like the ultra casual one, or you go buy the real court shoe.
Yeah.
Now then the Pro is this weird like
The Pro is definitely a more in between, because it does have more court shoe-esque aggressive styling.
a little more padding,
a little bit more padding. But
especially
it's still,
like the heel is like better locked.
But even still, I wouldn't really say that like, maybe just because I'm in pickleball, I would look at that and think, yeah, that's a court shoe. But if you showed that to like non-pickleball players out and about, they'd have no clue. But if you showed a Jet Mach 4 in bright red to somebody, they'd be like,
100%.
what are you wearing on your feet?
For sure.
So like you could wear that to a restaurant and nobody would ever think twice. What I will say is though, why does this happen with a lot of apparel brands? The women's shoes have much better colors.
I do very frequently enjoy the women colorways.
What I'll say
more.
about the white ones, like, okay, I really like these. I think this is great. These look awesome. I'm torn on the like translucent white-ish bottom. In my head, I was like, it would be cool if that was like a tan. And then I pulled up the sheet, and the women's shoes are tan.
Oh, that's
so I'm
hilarious.
like, those look great. I think they both look good, but I like the tan ones. Also, on the Pros, the light blue,
yeah,
that
that's
looks
nice.
great.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I just think it's funny.
The women get all the better colors.
Women get the better colors.
There was when I newer to pickleball, I can't remember which court shoe it was, but there was specifically a court shoe that I liked the women's colorway so much better that I was like, I might just buy this and see if it fits my.
I've met people who do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, this happens all the time.
Yeah.
So I just thought that was funny.
I don't know. Let us know, guys, what you think. Would you buy these? Is there a use case for you? I think it's one of the like more just interesting and confusing.
I mean, think
releases
about
I've
the
seen.
like casual person who's probably not like sliding, dragging their feet a ton, just goes to play after work. Like that used to be me. I used to just go straight from the office, straight to the court.
Yeah.
I would have just worn these shoes at the office.
Maybe there's more than I'm thinking. That's why we'll just let the audience tell us.
Yeah.
We'll just let them tell us
True.
what they think.
True.
So I don't know. I'll keep messing with them. We'll see how durability holds up and kind of go from there.
I actually think these are probably going to hold up better than my Babolat's. Because it's a harder rubber compound, I don't think I'm going to wear through this nearly as fast.
We'll see. We'll see.